6 p.m. in Balikumba, that is in the northwest region of Cameroon. Good evening, dear televiewers. Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. For presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. While classes effectively resume in the 8 French-speaking regions of Cameroon, the 2 other regions, that is, the northwest and southwest regions, are currently marred by rising insecurity. At least 2 headmasters and a student have been killed today in separate attacks orchestrated by suspected separatist fighters with the aim of enforcing ghost town in order to prevent effective school resumption. And over a year in the city of Douala, precisely at the Mabanda neighborhood, a 26-year-old graduate kills his 2 siblings by strangulating them to death. The victim, who is currently behind bars, claims it was in an indeliberate act. And now we take you out of our borders, that is out of Cameroon, where General Brice Oligui Nguema promises to return power to the people by organizing free, transparent and credible elections. The head of the elite Republican Guard was speaking while being sworn in as transitional president of the oil-rich nation, Gabon. Those are major stories. Stay with us for details and more. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for choosing Equinoxe television. You definitely made the right choice. So begin with our back to school page. Students of Government Bilingual High School Bapanda, that is in Douala 5 subdivision, have been told to respect the rules and regulations of the school in order not to be distracted from lectures. The call was made by school administrators as the new school year effectively kicks off today. We have details with our reporter, Smart Chikan Gabriel.
Students of low seats of Government Bilingual High School in Bapanda began the new school year with chemistry as their first subject. Before the start of this lecture, the principal of the college had time to welcome both the new and old students who returned to school this Monday, advising them on the importance of education. Before the start of lectures, all students of Government Bilingual High School Bapanda went through a thorough check at their entry into the school campus.
We cannot have a good result if we don't have discipline. That's why we see all of us in the gates today to make sure that the discipline is okay and everything should be okay. So discipline is our watchword.
White sports shoes, long white socks, skirts and trousers without allowance were some of the things the teachers checked on their students, and those who didn't respect the dress code were simply sent back home to adjust before coming back to school. 95% of the teachers of Government Bilingual High School Bapanda were present on day 1 of the new school year.
The minister used to give us the term of the year, so you don't need to respect the term. And this year the minister asked us to make the result should be good. We add 5% of to have the good result. So we try our best to have those 5% plus the one that we had last year.
Even though COVID-19 is no longer ravaging, the shift system continues at Government Bilingual High School Bapanda.
We still have 2 shift classes, but not all the school. We have students for 5e, 4e, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4 who make the class shift system. The other will be the whole day.
The theme for the 2023-2024 academic year is digitalization and classroom practices for the modernization of teaching and learning.
And the eve and day 1 of the new academic year was also characterized by a number of security incidents that marred the effectiveness of the exercise in the southwest and northwest regions. In Kumba, a secondary school girl was killed by a stray bullet, while 2 head teachers got assassinated in Boyo Division, all in the northwest region. Femi Armstrong Sanda reports on that story.
The lifeless body of Ajek Hilda, surrounded by wailing family members at the corridors of the Kumba Regional Hospital Annex. Local sources say that Ajek Hilda, a third-form student of Government High School Kaken Kumba, got killed by a stray bullet at their Maiwan residence in Kumba. Family sources narrate that the bullet perforated their building and tore open her stomach, leading to her untimely death. Kumba had been buried in sporadic gunshots throughout the night, breaking Monday, September 4th, 2023, a disturbing security atmosphere that contributed to paralyzed activities and empty streets on day one of back to school in the city of Kumba. In another scene but similar security incident, 2 headmasters got assassinated by suspected separatist fighters in the Buyo division of the Northwest region. Proximity news sources say that Mr. Fonjang Eric Dianse and Mr. Ndim John Budji were killed around the Ije Mountain Forest on Sunday, September the 3rd, 2023. They were on their way back from Bello, where they attended a basic education sector conference ahead of the start of classes on Monday, September 4th, 2023.
A related story, deserted streets, is what characterized back to school in the town of Kumba in the Med Division of the Southwest region. In other towns like Boy and Mamfe, just a handful of students answered present on day one of school resumption. Many decided to stay at home due to the fear of the unknown. Malaglari reports on how classes unfolded at Government High School Boya, Balingo Grammar School Moliko, and other parts of the region.
No sign of school resumption. On the first day of school, the street of Kumba was void of students. A calm atmosphere, and most educational establishments still closed. While in Manfi, very few students could be spotted with assorted wares heading to school. In order to ensure an effective start, a clean-up campaign was organized in most campuses by the mayor of Manfi, Robertson Tabinchong.
We had a special Keep Manfi Clean involving the entire parents and the population of Manfi, and we made sure we cleaned all the schools, both public and private schools, because our objective is to have full school resumption come this 2023-2024 academic year.
Despite the heavy rains this Monday, students and teachers answered present at Government High School Manfi. Ebai Pauline is the principal of Government High School Manfi.
Some teachers have come, administrators are there, and some students. So this morning there was heavy rainfall. So the rain just ceased, so students and teachers are gradually coming. So those who have come, we have opened the classrooms, we have assigned them to sweep the classrooms. While teachers are waiting for them to finish sweeping, they begin teaching.
Still in the Southwest region, it was an effective start at Balingwa Grammar School Moliko Boya, as few students were present in school and ready for their first lesson of the day. Mboke Mata is the principal of Government High School Boya.
The teachers are there, and we have just very few students who have come today. I want to say it's an effective start.
While the academic year 2023-2024 has effectively started this September 4th in major towns in the Northwest and Southwest region, it wasn't the case in remote localities often visited by separatist fighters.
And still on our back to school page, activities kicked off hitch-free in Limbe, that is in the southwest region of Cameroon. Residents blame the timid turnout of pupils on the socio-political crisis that has crippled the economy. Speaking to some displaced parents living in Limbe, many of them say they are yet to register their kids for this academic year. We have details with our Limbe-based correspondent, Davison Maimo.
A very serene atmosphere here. And we are in Form 1 of Government High School Limbe, where the children, the kids, it is their very first day in secondary school. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How do you feel being in secondary school your very first day?
I feel very excited because this is my first day and I'm going to make new friends here. I just want to thank my mom for making me to be very intelligent. Even God, is because of God that I'm here. So I want to thank everybody for giving me all the knowledge, all the privilege for me to be here today.
Despite the odds, the 2023-2024 academic year kicks off hitch-free in the seaside resource city of Limbe, though with a timid turnout of students and pupils.
Well, the turnout is somehow timid. We are expecting more than 2,500 students. but today we have roughly 200 students in school.
Being a Monday, within the context of the ongoing Anglophone armed conflict, the number of patrol units from the different defense and security contingents speaks for itself as to why Limbe is described as a safe haven.
It is a Monday. You understand me better. We are very impressed with the outcome of the children.
School administrators say that for the past 5 years, students' admission application forms have continued to increase, especially in public schools. Madam Kale Singen Jonje Miri Namundu is the principal of Government High School in Limbe.
Many parents are struggling to seek for admission, but there is no space in school. We have limited classrooms. Because of that, we cannot admit so many students. And we are pleading with the government to give us additional classrooms.
The divisional officer of Limbe 1 subdivision, Moni Innocent Nanje, sent a clarion call to parents for every child to be.
And the ghost town phenomenon paralyzed day one of school resumption across the northwest region. In most parts of the region, civil streets were equally deserted as the population decided to respect the Monday traditional ghost town instituted by the separatist fighters. Aside from the prevailing situation or security situation in the region, other areas like Kambe, that is in Dungamantum division, still in the northwest region, recorded a huge turnout of students and pupils. Details with our northwest correspondent, Bo Stella.
Across the northwest region, the ghost town phenomenon instituted by separatists paralyzed effective school resumption. The usual busy nature of the roads, characteristic of a new school year, was absent across some major towns of the northwest region. The picture of back to school is different in Kambe, Dungamantun division. Statistics suggest about 23,000 pupils and students clothed in their various school uniforms answered present.
I feel happy in school today because I see my friends and my teachers.
School authorities say the turnout this day was impressive and the challenges are mounting.
We have already started receiving admissions into lower seats, but we could have started with the science department, but for the fact that we cannot have science equipment and accommodation, we need a computer lab.
Although some institutions still face challenges ranging from the influx of students and pupils to inadequate facilities to accommodate them, the senior divisional officer from Dungamantum division says the turnout recorded today are fruits of concerted actions.
The teaching and learning exercise is going on hitch-free. We had many children in the classrooms than the available space. The security aspect was taken care of by the collaborators of the Forces of Defense and Security with the vigilant groups that were formed at the level of the traditional authorities. And we hope that this serenity will continue in all the institutions.
In Kambe, school resumption has been termed effective, whereas other towns in the region are yet to fully resume.
Across the our northwest correspondent reporting there. And now we talk something else. A road safety campaign has been launched by the National Gendarmerie on the National Road Number 1 connecting the Adamawa region to Garwa, Marwa and Kuseri. This is in a bid to limit road accidents during this period of back to school. Innocent Aze tells us more.
Back to school and frequent accidents on the National Road Number 1 linking Gaundere in the Adamawa region and Marwa in the far north region are the reasons why these elements of the National Gendarmerie conduct this road safety control.
À la suite des accidents survenus sur nos axes, surtout à la falaise d'Embe.
It is due to repeated accidents on this La Falaise d'Embe and also start of the academic year that hierarchy tasked us to carry out this control exercise in a bid to avoid overloading, reckless driving and overspeeding, which often results to loss of lives.
Scolaire 2023. Sans accident.
Apart from these, they are also authorized to sensitize the road users to respect driving codes, be in possession of driver's license, have good brakes, and also ensure their vehicles and tires are in good state.
Non seulement sensibiliser, et aussi réprimer les infractions concernant les récalcitrants de la route.
Passengers hailed this initiative, wishing it lasts long, given that their security will be guaranteed until they arrive their destination.
C'est bien pour la sécurité déjà des passagers, ce qui fait que les passagers vont se sentir en sécurité.
Others split. Authorities should ameliorate the state of the degraded roads, which has been a factor of road accidents. The population as a whole have been urged to collaborate with the road safety team for flexible and safe transport.
Cette quittance, ça ne vous permet pas de rouler en toute quiétude.
And now to one of our major lead stories. A 26-year-old graduate of the University of Chang called Atongfak is currently in gendarmerie custody in the Mabanda neighborhood right here in Douala, precisely in Bonaberry Douala 4 subdivision. He is being accused of killing his two siblings by strangulation. Questioned on why he carried out the act, he claims it was an deliberate act. We have details with AC Luciliengo.
Inhabitants of Mabanda in the Douala 4 subdivision are still in shock. This is after a 26-year-old boy committed murder by killing his siblings on the night of Sunday, breaking Monday. According to information, Atonfa Kawalem has been living with his siblings Zena Lance, 9-year-old, Asong Shan, 6 years old, in one of their father's house. Sources say he called his father to report that he came home and met his siblings dead.
He called me around midnight, past midnight. He said that come and see the child, they sleep, he can meet them, died, two of them. So I came for the resident where they stay, and I look for the police and gendarme. I go and check the cops.
Heartbroken, his father reported the act to the National Gendarmerie, who descended on the scene for investigations.
The police even bring doctor to come and look if they give the poison for the child. And they realized the doctor said no, they cannot give them because they don't vomit.
While in the hands of the National Gendarmerie, he accepted he committed the act, and his neighbors are questioning what actually pushed him.
Actually beyond understanding how a senior one can strangle the junior ones. I think since the gendarmes are up on it, we'll get the real story, we get the reason behind this act later also.
Atongfak is said to be a holder of a bachelor degree in chemical biology from the University of Chang, but after graduating, he has been jobless. His father further explains that his son had a suspicious attitude but never had a reason. The suspect has been detained at the Mabanda Gendarmerie unit while investigations are on.
And now we take you out of our Cameroonian borders. General Olingi Nguema officially takes over command of the state of Gabon. He was sworn in today in the capital, Libreville. Babila Jonathan reports on some major policy announcements made by the general today.
Je jure devant Dieu et le peuple gabonais.
Gabon's transition president, Brigadier General Brice Clotaire Olingi Nguema, swears to respect the republican regime, to respect and ensure the respect of the transition charter and the law, to serve the interests of the people, to preserve democracy and independence and the territorial integrity of the country.
L'indépendance de la patrie et l'intégrité du territoire national.
He takes over the leadership of the Central African nation after a coup d'etat. He justifies with a quotation from a speech of former Ghanaian President John Jerry Rawlings.
Quand le peuple est écrasé par ses dirigeants, avec la complicité des juges, c'est l'armée qui lui rend sa liberté.
To the general, the condemnation of the coup d'etat by some international institutions is astonishing. After taking the oath of service, General Olingi Nguema commits to preserve the unity of Gabon during his leadership and ensure the well-being of Gabonese via strong institutions,
functioning within the ambit of a new constitution that should emanate from a referendum.
L'unité de notre peuple doit toujours être la condition essentielle pour l'exercice de nos libertés fondamentales. J'y veillerai personnellement durant toute la période de transition.
In the presence of a handful of national and international dignitaries, the military leader reassures Gabonese that at the end of the transition period, free, fair and transparent elections will be organized to restore civilian rule in the country. He adds that the transition back to civilian rule will be fast.
And from Gabon, we now take you to Niger, where nationals continue with demonstrations in front of the French military base in that part of the country. The young people who have been receiving support from other compatriots want French troops to leave the country. However, all the calls have been falling on deaf ears. Meanwhile, the president-elect of Zimbabwe, Emmerson Mnangagwa, has been sworn in as president. We have details in this report done by our reporter, Anabila.
It's already 1 week and above since the military leadership in Niger demanded the French ambassador in Niamey to leave the country. Yet, the French foreign minister reiterates her country's commitment to maintaining troops in Niger and keeping the French ambassador in place. Consequently, tens of thousands of Nigerians have been demonstrating in the streets of Niger and in front of the French military base in Niamey. They are being assisted or supported by a greater part of the people, providing them with basic needs such as food.
Nous avons décidé chaque soir de faire 1500 plats et aider cette jeunesse.
The young and determined protesters are calling on France to withdraw its troops from Niger. France has about 1,500 troops in the country rich in uranium. Meanwhile, the airspace in Niger, which was shut down or closed after the military coup, authorities have announced will be reopened for the country's civil and commercial flights. The decision to open the airspace, however, does not apply to military flights which are subject to authorization from the competent authorities. Flights to Niger may still be restricted due to economic sanctions imposed by ECOWAS. And in Zimbabwe, President Emmerson Mnangagwa supporters have been celebrating as the president-elect was sworn in as the new leader of Zimbabwe. Official results have shown that incumbent President Emmerson Mnangagwa won the polls with 53% of the vote. Emmerson Mnangagwa took the oath in front of the Chief Justice and was cheered by thousands of supporters. The ceremony was boycotted by the main opposition party, Citizens Coalition for Change. It has called for fresh elections, describing President Emmerson's win as a fraud. The swearing-in was attended by South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa and other top personalities of the Southern African zone.
Your Excellencies, you may take your seats.
And a report done by reporter Anna Bila puts a cap to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for your keen attention. Stay blessed in the company of more interesting programs on ETV.